Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carbon or Bunny, and I post videos every other Tuesday talking about the stuff I've been making. So, channel updates before we get into stuff. I got my machine back, my lovely Yoko Littner machine. I got her back 2 weeks early. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So yeah, that was really exciting news to get last weekend. I got to use her a little bit on the project that I worked on this week. So I'll talk about that a little bit. She's running great, no more squeaking. Working like a dream. I'm loving it. I am still using the other machine that I had. She's kind of been relegated to maker, bobbin spinner. But I am still happy with her, and she's very quiet, and I like that a lot. Also, my daily driver is quieter too. Oh my gosh, I didn't know getting your machine serviced would make it quieter. But yeah, okay. So those are the really quick channel updates that I had this week. So I wanted to do something a little bit different this week. I was so freaking depressed. I've been having a really hard time the past month-ish. My OCD's been really bad. I don't know, maybe not that bad, but it's been difficult recently. And I've also just been in a lot of a winter funk. I'm not really from the north, but I am living in the north, and man, the not seeing sun for 3 weeks totally sucks. Basically, from December 28th. Actually, probably a bit sooner than that. Basically, from December 15th to daylight savings, I am incredibly depressed. And I'm just having a hard time because I'm not used to being this far north. I'm not used to getting this little sunlight. I'm not used to it being so cold and not being able to go outside. I just have a really hard time adjusting to living in the snowy north, to be in a yank, as my family used to joke when I lived here briefly as a child. Not built for it. So I've been having a hard time with that. I kind of had a peak of it over this last 2 week period. So I want to talk about that and how to kind of pull yourself out of a crafting funk. And I wanted to do that while talking about the trial piece that I worked on, which was this quilt. It's still super marked up. It's not done. We'll talk about why it's not done. It's a good reason, don't worry. But I made this, and she's acceptable, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna be picking out all of this quilting that I have done. There's a lot of problems with it. I was having a lot of issues hooping my machine, and I think it shows. Also, it's my first time trying to work with a file that I purchased. This is the first time working with a purchased embroidery file, and I'm not the happiest. I think I'm doing something wrong. I feel like there has to be a way to tile them together that doesn't have the big knots in the middle of it, because ew, gross, it looks so ugly. But this is just a dog blanket that I was making out of scrap fabric. But so I wanted to show all of the B-roll of me making this while I talk about I don't know, being in a winter crafting funk, because a lot of the crafting creators I'm seeing right now putting out videos are all yeah, I was really burnt out and I felt terrible, and I just didn't really want to make anything. Babe, that's the winter. It's also, boss, it's the fascism, but that's a whole other thing that we don't need to talk about on this channel, because it's okay to have some places where we don't talk about the bad things much. Uh, it's okay. I don't know. You know what I mean. I felt like garbage, and I have been what I can only describe as compulsively crafting. I was definitely doing it with Caitlin. I think that's why I had so much progress last week, or last video. I've definitely been trying to find a balance between, I'm just trying to find a balance with having a YouTube channel. I really enjoy having regularly scheduled content, because that's the type of scaffolding that I need as someone with, I'm gonna say, undertreated ADHD, and someone who really thrives in external systems. And so being able to build up an external system like that does make me more productive, and just kind of generally gets me out of bed in the morning. But I've definitely been having issues balancing and prioritizing what is a healthy amount of things to make, and when it's okay to just have a really short video. This week's just going to be a really short video, and that's totally chill. And we're really just going to be talking about how to make making things a little easier for yourself when you're feeling gunk. So yeah, I was compulsively crafting. I like couldn't sit on the couch and like watch a TV show without opening up my iPad and trying to digitize a new file to like make merch or something. And to be very clear, I don't want to make merch. Don't. I don't. But I don't know. I was just so stuck in the cycle of like, I have to be doing something right now. I have to be doing something right now. I have to be doing something right now. Girl, I just banned myself from making things. I banned myself. I put myself on a 7-day ban. Drove me a little bit insane, but I do think it was really good for me. I just could not stop making anything. It wasn't even stuff that I wanted to make. It was stuff I explicitly did not want to make. And I couldn't stop doing it. I couldn't take a break. I just couldn't like breathe. I was just so desperate to like fill the winter days, which was really frustrating and like really not healthy and really not good for me. And oh my god, was that since my last video? Yeah, I made the like Pokemon patches. Here, I made these like energy patches and I was like, oh, I'm gonna like sell them. I don't want to sell these. I don't want to make them. I mean, they look fine. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're like bad or anything, but like I don't want to sell them. I don't want to make them. They don't spark joy or anything like that for me. So why did I make them? Why did I try and make like 20 of them? No. So that's why I put myself on a ban. And while I was in this ban, I was able to just kind of like reflect, which I think was really, really good for me. Something that I've been thinking about a lot. It like itches the back of my brain whenever one of my yoga instructors mentions that like they always offer that people can just go to class and lay down for the entire time, and no one ever does. And I've tried practicing that. I've genuinely tried just like laying down in class for a full hour, and it's really hard. I wind up getting up and moving for at least like 20 out of the 60 minutes. So I tried that. I really tried that. I really tried to embrace just like standing still and not making anything. And it really gave me time to reflect on like what I was generally unhappy with in my office and with some of the things that I've been making recently. So I had a really big revelation that like I was losing steam on Caitlin and feeling like, oh, I just have to finish her because I spent money on her and I'm still gonna finish her. But like a lot of the reason I was working on her was because I just wanted to work with Riot. Like, Caitlin's cool, and I do like her as a character, and I do think the costume's gonna look really, really cute on me, and I'm excited to wear it. And also, like, I hate making guns. I don't make guns. The last time I made a gun for a cosplay was 2015. Like, I don't like making guns. It makes me uncomfortable to be holding something that is even close to reminiscent of a gun. It's definitely just like a personal thing of like, I don't really know who around me has a hard time being around guns. I don't like being around them in public. I've known too many people to like brag about keeping a loaded rifle in their nightstand to even feel comfortable in like some of my acquaintances' houses and stuff like that. I just don't want to do it. So Caitlin is generally like not a champion that I would have chosen to make for myself, but she's cute and I really want to work with Riot, and so I'm making her. And I've already spent money, so I'm definitely gonna finish it. But so I kind of had that revelation, and then I also realized how much I've been like really unhappy in my sewing space. I just moved into the sewing space recently, and so I just kind of spent like I do my day job in here too. So I kind of just spent like a day just like writing down things that were frustrating to me while I was in my office, or like things that I would like sigh and be like, oh my God, I have to deal with that. I made a list of those things and then I decided to tackle them because, well, I wasn't allowed to make anything. What else am I going to do? Lay on the floor and be depressed? No, I'm going to clean and organize. So I moved some furniture around to make the space a little bit better organized. I like cleaned my floors. I put a bunch of stuff away. I cleaned my desk. I fixed an issue with my closet that was causing it to not close. And I also hung up a bunch more art, and like all of those things together already had me feeling like so much better in my office. But yeah, so that was the real boon of having that type of reflective time, which I really appreciated and I really, really needed. And then what else did I work on? I realized that I miss Joann's. And more than like I don't just want to go like shopping at Joann's, but really just like being in a fabric store has been something that I've done in the past for just kind of like getting rid of my art block. and like kind of finding inspiration in like new textiles that I didn't think of, or new colors or new shapes, or like, ooh, what if I did this? And like just being a really good like jumping off point for like fantasizing about projects that you might want to make in the future. And I've been missing that. I don't really have anywhere to like physically go out of the house because I also don't really leave the house a lot. I haven't had that place. And like Michael's is just like straight up not the same. And so I made plans to go antiquing and I did that and it was very successful. And I got this really cool steel sculpture that was made the year I was born and it looks like a dog and I love it. And I also picked up some antique patterns and stuff like that. So that was really, really good. What else did I do? Oh, I also scheduled an art class for myself for the week after my ban was lifted because I only did a 7-day ban. So on like day 15 or whatever, I did a stained glass class. A stained glass class. Wow. That's a lot to say fast. And it was really, really good. And I had a great time. And it like the piece that I made, I think looks very pretty. And I don't know, it was just fun. And it was nice to go just like leave the house and talk to other people who make things and make something of my own in like a structured way, which I really enjoyed. And that also kind of got me to working on this quilt that you've been seeing me assemble. So I've just been like on Pinterest a bunch. Another thing I realized while I was on my crafting hiatus was that I haven't been intentional with my drawing in like the past 5+ years. And I wanted to change that. I really wanted to change that. I have another quote in my head that kind of lives rent free, which is I've never truly seen something until I've drawn it. And I think that is so, 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 so true. There are so many details that you just don't see until you draw something, whether that's like a photograph or like a house or like just anything, really. Like there's so many details that we just glaze over every day. And I think that's a skill that I really want to bring back into my life. So I've been practicing every morning after my ban was lifted because I wasn't allowed to draw. When I came into my sewing space to work on stuff, I made myself find a couple of reference images and I just started drawing the reference images from Pinterest. I know Pinterest isn't like the best place to get references, but it's what I've been doing and I've been seeing a lot of quilts on Pinterest and I saw one that I like really, really liked and I was like, I can make that. I have a sewing machine and scrap fabric that I don't know what to do with. So I sorted through some of the scrap fabric that I had and I decided to draw a pattern for a quilt and I didn't do it right. I didn't pattern it right and that's okay. That's fine. This is a dog blanket. It was never meant to be anything more than like kind of like scrap busting something for my dogs. And like it's fine. Technically, it's decently assembled. My corners could be a little bit nicer, but for my first quilt and for a pattern that I made myself and for like having only watched like 10 short form videos on like how to quilt, I think she's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. She's not what I wanted her to be. I'm not the biggest fan of the color palette. Again, this is just fabrics I had laying around. I did have to go out and buy the backing. I had to buy the backing fabric and I had to buy more batting because I was short by like 6 inches, like 6 square inches, like a 2-inch by 3-inch section was missing batting. And I didn't want to like shrink the whole thing. And while I was in the store, I was talking to some of the quilting ladies there because it's a quilting store that I was at to buy like the batting and stuff because I don't think Michael sells batting or like quilting materials. And one of the ladies, I was asking questions to make sure I was closing it right. And the look this girl gave me when I said I was just gonna like hoop the quilting, she was right, okay? She was right. I had the audacity of someone who's only watched like a total of like 5 minutes of videos on how to quilt. And that's why I plan on unpicking this like really big leaf design that I have in it. Also got unhooped at one point, so one of them's like crazy crooked and like the whole thing wasn't hooped evenly to start. I just, and the quilt isn't square either and it makes it look lumpier. Listen, it's a blanket for my dogs and it didn't need to be good. So, also it's not finished because Pocopia came out, okay? Put a lot of hours into Pocopia. I don't want to put like a lot of hours into that game already. Oopsie whoopsie. It's fine though. It's fine though. I actually had Pocopia kind of on my list of things on like how to break myself out of my art block. I used to play Minecraft in order to do with my art block, because I, as a child, internalized too much individualist environmentalism. I was like taught a bunch of things as a child that, like, oh, you have to like stop your water running, and you have to compost everything that comes into your house, and you have to recycle everything. You're an evil person and you're gonna kill the planet personally. That's not true. It's not true. You cannot personally kill the planet by not recycling all of your Gatorade bottles. You cannot physically drink enough Gatorade in your life to do that, even if it is the only thing you drink day in and day out. Like, you just can't do that. But that doesn't stop me from not feeling like I can make things that aren't garbage or that can't biodegrade. And my solution to that has been to play Minecraft. And I go into Minecraft and I make the most god-awful, ugly structures you have ever seen in your life. I know you're thinking of some ugly houses in Minecraft. No, the things I make are uglier. They are like the most disgusting color palette you've ever seen. They clash. Nothing matches. They look hideous. And then I can just delete the world I'm in and like never see it again. And I've gotten like the like gunk out of my system. You know what I mean? I don't have like a good analogy right now because I haven't really been sleeping. Again, because of Pocopia. I don't want to talk about my average number of hours played a day since I came out, but I'm not sleeping a lot right now. Tell you that much. It's like a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm having a lot of fun with the game. It's a really good game. Definitely game of the year. But I haven't really been able to do that with Minecraft because a couple years ago I had a bit of an interpersonal falling out with a group of people that I thought I was friends with. Yeah, so the like past 2 weeks have really just kind of been me trying to like crawl out of a funk. I was also kind of sick again, which wasn't helping. And the house was a mess, and like I needed to clean a bunch of stuff, and I don't know. I just like banned myself from making things and then started making things that are kind of really ugly. And let me tell you, that really helps. Just give yourself permission to make something absolutely hideous. Do it in a different medium if you have to. That I've never been able to like do that with sewing because then I have this like crisis that I'm like the worst seamstress ever, which isn't true. You know what I mean? Like we all make mistakes when sewing. Like just unpick the seam, do it again, you're fine. So I do typically have to do it in another medium, and I always feel so guilty, like, oh, I can't draw bad things because then I'm wasting paper and I'm contributing to the environment dying. Babe, it's 3 pieces of paper. Sometimes I'll even draw on recycling, and even then I feel like I'm like making too much trash. Like it was trash already. Anyways, this is a ramble about things, stuff, I guess. Anyways, our lives are always changing, and we're always going to run into new challenges as artists, and that's normal, and that's fine, and that's good. We just gotta like embrace them and take them one step at a time, and I've been trying really hard to do that, and I thought by like sharing some of the things that I did, you know, maybe the next time you're in a real funk, you can like make an ugly Minecraft house and feel better because no one's gonna see that house again, but you still got a chance to like, I don't know, make something. No pressure. Just absolutely no pressure. And something that I've realized from this is I think I'm just gonna like quilt in the winters. I'm just gonna find a pattern and I'm gonna go look at pretty fabrics, and then I'm just gonna sew like an absolute metric butt ton of triangles or like rectangles or whatever. And I'm gonna do a bunch of ironing, and then my dogs are gonna have another blanket. And I'm going to feel like I have done something that doesn't need to be perfect or beautiful. It just needs to like have fabrics that I think look good on it. And, you know, that's enough. Or maybe I just make really ugly houses in Pocopia. Maybe we get creative mode by that time. I know we've got like a year's worth of content coming out. We've got like a lot of patches coming out. There's like I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I still need to get some of my favorite Pokemon, but that's okay. I've got like so much time to do that. I have so many years to collect all my favorite guys in Pocopia and build them cute little houses and neighborhoods and parks and stuff. I'm so excited for this game. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's what I worked on. I collected my favorite Pokemon in a video game this week, and I made a quilt that, like, I don't know. It's not that ugly. I guess she's fine. She's fine. And my dogs are gonna, like, you know, taking their stinky little naps and farting on it. So that's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be that good. It doesn't need to be a competition piece or a piece that I'm trying to get hired with or anything, or even just like volunteer with. I don't know. I enjoyed collaborating with Riot at Evo this past year. That was really fun. So, yeah, I just did a bunch of no pressure stuff because winters totally sucks ass and the government. That's all I'm gonna say. We're not getting into it any deeper than that. Just the government. Um, I hope crafting is going better for you than it has been for me these past couple weeks. And if it hasn't been, I believe in you. Everything is temporary, including the bad times. Just keep at it. And with that, happy crafting, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Anyways. Oh my gosh. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, so I thought I'd try my hand at a quote.